whenever I lost focus, because our environment is full of distractions, be it mobile phones, be it people talking around us. So I asked myself one question, that why did I start even at the first place? Why did I start? And that question got me back, and I used to study once again. I used to like keep my phone away and I used to give it to my mother. I would be like, yeah, mom, just take it away. I just don't want to get accidentally distracted. I want to put in my best effort in this, no matter the results. In my case, I never used to give my phone to my mother because she used to snatch it from me. So that's the thing which kept me focused. Plus, I like playing guitar a lot.
It's quite scary. It's like this will decide your future, kind of. But do not like, take it like that.
I used to wander a lot with my friends, with my family, and also we had some fun sessions. Like you remember, Prabha, when we used to make doodles while making short notes?
I do
Yes,
remember
these funny things help me manage my stress.
So, children, what worked out for you?
I think it was my preparation strategy that worked for me. Daily practices and sample paper questions helped me to score 95.8%. And I also used to spend time with my friends, which made my mind relaxed.
that. For me, especially in subjects which had a lot of syllabus to cover, I used flashcards to you to help with active recall, which personally helped me out a lot. But for others, for everyone, it's a different strategy.
Yeah, active recall also helped me a lot, and basically practicing after studying what I just did in theory, it just helped a lot. And yeah, so that was the main concept of practicing and active recall and using tricks like mnemonics and flashcards. That was what helped me a lot. Yeah. Initially, I was diverted towards looking out a perfect plan and a perfect timetable to work this exam out. But over time, I realized I have to build something on my own, a system which caters to my lifestyle, my priorities, my weaknesses, and my strengths. So I worked with that.
That's great. The teaching aids that you are using that at times help you a lot to, prepare your strategies, plan them, and then execute them when you are studying. So, there, out of all the six subjects that you have studied, which subject did you, find difficult, and how did you plan to study that particular subject?
All right, I'll start this one, I believe. So, from my perspective, the toughest subject I ever had to face since childhood was the subject of Hindi. As a language subject, it had a lot of rules in itself, and it honestly it was really tough for me. But after some time, when I got to realize that I had to do it, and this was the last year I was going to study it anyway, so that's when I started to put my best into the last 2 months. And well, it needed consistent practice since the starting. I could have scored better if I did that, but I would say that after starting consistently, I could really score good in that subject. I guess for me, there was no subject that I would say it was difficult, but there were topics that were difficult. So I used to break them down and then I would pair it with the subjects that I liked and I find interesting. So it would be easy for me to learn those topics and understand them better. Yeah, for me, maths was the hardest subject, and I think that's really common for a lot of children in our school as well and in general as well. And for me, maths, what I did was like just practicing lots of questions from different books, and I really took a lot of help from my maths teacher. And she was so proactive and she was so supportive of me the entire time in my study. And every time I would ask her to just like teach me different concepts, or if I could not understand anything, I would ask her to just like, ma'am, I cannot do this, can you please help me out if you have any free time. And she would always support me and she would always just help me out. And that was what just made me score good in maths as well, even though that was what I found difficult all over the years. So yeah.
For me too, maths is a subject which I find really hard. And I did practice a lot. I first focused on clearing my basics so that my concepts are clear. And then I practiced many questions to score good in it.
That's great. So when you practice a subject more, then maybe that does not feel a little more harder, right? When you delve deep into the subject. So I just wanted to know that out of all the six subjects that you have studied throughout the year and all the co-curricular activities that you planned, so how did you maintain that perfect balance of studies and co-curricular activities?
Well, I start with this one.
I used to stay calm because I know it's exams and the pressure is normal. So I used to stay calm. I used to pursue my hobbies and I used to talk to my friends, which made me relaxed. So this maintained consistency and maintained a good and healthy work life.
Well, I use something similar. It's a technique called compartmentalization. It is basically separating a mind into boxes such that whenever you're starting an activity, you just shift into that kind of box. That really helped me out since it was quite tough to maintain a balance while you have the pressure of board exams on top of you. But extracurricular activities are always a necessity because it helps you really calm down during this pressure, and that helps a lot in general.
One thing that has always helped me is writing out my thoughts. So the focus time for children while they're reading or studying is like not more than 1 hour. So I used to take a break after 1 hour. It's like a 15-minute break, and I would write poetries, putting all my thoughts out, and I feel more relaxed and more comfortable to start studying again in the next hour.
Yeah, for me, art is something I really enjoy. So every time I would just get frustrated with studying too much, or it was just a lot of pressure on me, I would just draw something out really quick and simple. And even during the board exams, when I was too done with studying, like if I had studied for a long stretch at like for once, and I was just really frustrated and pressured, and I just could not get things done. I would just take my iPad and I would just start a new drawing, and even if I couldn't finish it, that was okay because it helped me relax every single time.
So, children, for achieving such good scores in all the subjects, what did you incorporate in your planning, preparation strategies that helped you stay focused throughout the year?
Well, in my preparation strategy, I really involved taking breaks every study hour because, again, nobody has a kind of attention span where they can sit for 5 hours straight, study the book, and just remember it all and retain it all. It's really not possible. So it's best to realize that what your attention span is, and then using that to create breaks in the middle so you don't burn out at the end, and you actually are able to consistently being able to retain all the information that you're taking in. And obviously, active recall helps a lot. After you read a topic, you do the questions or you try to summarize it in your mind. It really helps because it makes sure that you retain all that information.
I definitely agree with with what Prabhav said because this is what I also incorporated in my study schedule. But there's one more thing that I used whenever I lost focus because our environment is full of distractions, be it mobile phones, be it people talking around us. So I asked myself one question that why did I start even at the first place? Why did I start? And that question got me back, and I used to study once again with the same focus, with the same motivation.
Yeah, so as she said, we lose motivation sometimes, and there's just so many distractions that there are, like the mobile phones and everything. So for the mobile phones, I used to like keep my phone away, and I used to give it to my mother. I would be like, "Yeah, mom, just take it away. I just don't want to get accidentally distracted. I want to put in my best effort in this, no matter the results." So I just made sure that nothing could distract me, and if I was doing a study session, like what worked for me, another thing, that was setting specific goals. That was if I had to complete half of a chapter, so I was sure ki, oh, okay, I'm going to take 1 hour and I'm going to complete half of this chapter, and only then I'm going to take a break. So that was also what helped me focus.
In my case, I never used to give my phone to my mother because she used to snatch it from me. So that's the thing which kept me focused. Plus, I like playing guitar a lot. So pursuing my hobbies actually helped me stay relaxed and calm and stay me focused.
So, another question related to the same is that how did you actually handle the exam stress? Every one of you must have been stressed. There must be some fun memories that you people must have shared with each other. So, we really want to hear that. Plus, we want to know that how did you handle that exam stress?
Handling exam stress, I would say, is one of the toughest things to do while you're in the process of studying for the boards because it is quite a big thing. Giving the boards for the first time ever, it's quite scary. It's like this will decide your future, kind of. But do not take it like that. It is something to be taken. Obviously, you have to take it seriously. It is a big thing, but don't take it so seriously that you burn out. It happened with me for a period. It was like where everything on my mind was just studies, and at one time I didn't even eat for like what one or 2 days because it was just I was like I just had to study for the boards. Boards is the biggest thing in my life. It's really not. It is a part of your life, but it doesn't define who you are. So you take it seriously, but don't take it so seriously it affects your health, and instead you focus on your studies while taking care of yourself in the meanwhile.
I guess the exam stress during the boards is throughout the year, but it increases when the boards come near. And this is majorly because 2 months prior, most of the students they get bored of what they're studying because they've studied it a lot of times in the periodic assessment. Maybe they have term exam, then pre-boards, so they've studied it again and again. So if at that point of time you stop studying, it's the point where you lose. If you continue studying at that point of time and keep that mindset, yes, that it's the last time I'm studying, and you do it, that's how you succeed. And that's how you manage your stress because you know you're confident about what you have studied, so you'll be doing great in the exams.
Yeah, so I agree with her as well. So, yeah, the 2 months prior, I was also really stressed. Oh my god, there's so much to cover. How am I just going to do this? And I also thought that, oh my god, this is the biggest thing in my life, and nothing else really matters. But that's not true. So, my teachers and my mom, they all played a huge role in convincing me that it's okay, it's not really a big deal, boards happen, and it's just a part of the process. That's how you learn and how you grow, but it's not something that is worth just sacrificing your health, your physical and mental health for it. So while giving the exams, I was really, my mom helped me a lot. She would always make sure that I was eating on time and I was sleeping on time. And that is just something that you have to take care of yourself as well. That while you're giving the boards, while you're stressed, don't sacrifice your routine and your physical health for that.
What I did to manage my stress is I used to wander a lot with my friends, with my family, and also we had some fun sessions. Like you remember, Prabha, when we used to make doodles while making short notes?
I do
Yes.
remember that.
These funny things helped me manage my stress, and then regular practice. This was the main thing that I used to do to manage my stress.
I remember one time he called me while I was in my like deep study mode. He was like, "Wanna go out one time?" And I was like, "Hell no! It's just boards we're talking about. What are you talking about?" But afterwards, I regretted it lately because it was like it's really not that big of a life decision to go out once in a while.
Yes.
So there's one more thing that I'll add on this point, that while you're in the boards period, you should not confine yourself from your friends and your family. The people you should confine yourself is from the society. Those are telling you, oh my god, these are boards. How will you score? No. Just let that go. Be with your friends, have a happy time, have fun.
Amazing. So, what are the common mistakes that children usually make these days, and what would be your advice as an adult for them to not do those mistakes so that they can achieve the scores, good scores?
Yeah, so some common mistakes that I see children usually making these days, and the things that I did as well, are include procrastination and just not practicing enough, just relying on some PYQs or some higher order thinking skill questions, just those, and not practicing enough. It's just actually, you need to, if you need to get good scores, then you need to practice a lot. Like, just do every single book you can, just as much as your time allows. You need to time manage as well, but practice as much as possible, and that's what's going to help you in the final exams. And for procrastination, basically just ensure that you focus on your studies and you know why you started, as Divisha said before. So just know why you started, why, and be motivated, and try to know that, yeah, my goal right now is boards, and I need to give my best effort in this.
For me, one common mistake is leaving things for the last moment. What it does is it increases stress and reduces understanding. And also, as she said, practicing is a key factor to score well, because if you don't practice, then it becomes very difficult to apply concepts during the exams.
I'll add on your application of concepts. So while you are studying and practicing, you need to focus on the type of practice. Basically, you need to go for variety, and you need to focus on competency and situation based questions, because they'll tell you how that application would actually work in a question, and it would make your understanding even better in any kind of situation. It also increases and boosts your reasoning skills while you do competency focused questions. Another thing that I would say is stop comparing your journeys and your plans to others, and stop relying on online timetables or 4 a.m. one shots specifically, because it will again increase stress for you. Moreover, start trusting your teachers, whatever they say, because that is one thing I did. Whenever I used to face difficulties or I used to make mistakes, my teachers used to help me realize what my actual potential is, and I can always do better in that.
Yeah, I want to add on to the point that you were talking about just now. Relying on YouTube tutors is, well, actually extremely unreliable because, well, number one, I would say that they are pretty good for quick revision if you want it, but especially those 4 a.m. one shots, trust me, you will just make yourself even more sleepy during the main exam itself, and that is not a good thing to have when those 3 hours are the ones that define your mark sheet. Hence, do not focus on one shots or YouTube videos because they increase stress. They lessen your understanding of the subject, and in the end, you need to have the best mark sheet you can. And for that, it is your hard work that will get you there, not the people online.
Thank you so much. It was a great honor to have you all sitting in front of me as the toppers of the academic batch of 2025-26. I hope you achieve more in life, and all the ideas, all the advices that you've given here, I hope you people consistently follow them ahead in your life. So, good news is that we are not, ending here with the podcast with the toppers. We have many more, and they'll be coming soon. So, let's stay tuned to watch more of it. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.